I had always this thing in me that I need to, I want to do something and I will do it. And I think that is very important for each individual to realize, because I didn't realize until this campaign came that I have the power, or I can even build a campaign, something like this, which will be supported by so many people across the country.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Today, we are in conversation with Miss Bidisha Saikia, a change maker who is running the Bleed with Dignity campaign on change.org for bringing pads in schools. Bleed with Dignity campaign is asking the government of Assam to install biodegradable pad vending machines in every government school of Assam. One of the change makers who were awarded with the She Create Change grant by change.org India. Hello, ma'am. Happy to have you with us today.
Hi, Maanvi. Thank you so much for having me today. And yeah,
So,
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I would like to begin with my first question, that is, how do you define social problems?
So I think for me, social problem would be something. It's more of a process rather than a condition, which affects a lot of people together. And I think that also brings a lot of people together when we, try to diminish or eliminate certain social problems like racism, homelessness, hunger, poverty, and I mean, this is something. Social problems also, I feel that it ignites and brings and motivates you or an individual to even do something about it, and not just rather sit and be a spectator of it.
I have heard so many definitions of social problem, but I would say that it is the first time I'm hearing such an optimistic one.
Yeah, you can say that, because there has been so many instances I've seen. I mean, see, in India, especially in a country like India, and I come from I actually was born and brought up in a very small town from Assam, and even though I was not much accustomed with the whole city life before, or how the world was, but like, even though the problems over there in those small towns may look very minute, but I think over the time when I moved out, when I went to metro city, stayed there, I felt that it's how an individual looks at a or a problem, to be honest, rather than what the problem actually is. Because but sometimes it happens that a small problem might also look very small to you, but it might be a big issue for me. So I think it depends. It's very individualistic, I feel, at the end.
So now let's go to our next question. That is, tell us something about Bleed with Dignity campaign.
Okay, Bleed with Dignity actually I started this campaign in year 2000, I think 2 years back. Yeah. So it happened with a news that I read in April 2017 about a girl who lost her life because apparently some parasites went inside her vagina and ate all the small intestines, and that doctor said that her death was caused due to that, and because she was using an unhygienic cloth during her periods, when she was getting her periods. Now it's the example also doesn't set the wrong example. This example doesn't set the uh, you know I'm not advocating against cloth pads, or people using cloth during menstruation, because we are all talking about sustainable menstruation now, and I know brilliant people who are working on it. But it's about, even if you're using a cloth, how hygienic is it? Are you using it in a proper way? Are you washing it? So apparently the news, which I even met the reporter who covered that news, and she said that the girl was actually because of the taboo that is attached with menstruation, she actually found it really shameful to dry that cloth that she was using during her
Oh
periods
my.
in an open area where there's like proper sunlight. She used to dry it in a very dark area, in a dark space. And I think I've seen this from my childhood, even where I've seen my own mom who used to, use cloth during her periods. She used to also never, openly dry those piece of clothes in direct sunlight, which is actually um, preferred, because then only it says it kills the germs, which is whatever is there in the cloth. So I felt so moved and disheartened with this incident when I read it. And then I thought, why am I not doing anything about it? And this is an example from a district in Udalguri, which is a remote district in Assam. So I felt, why is someone losing their life for just not having basic access to menstrual hygiene products? And that's when I thought, why not like make these products available right in school? And also, Bleed with Dignity is not only about advocating for bringing pads to schools, or bringing menstrual um, hygiene products to school, but it's also about to start a conversation around menstruation, which is still considered a taboo topic among schools, students of Assam, especially belonging to the government schools. Like private schools now, it's like students start talking about it, but in government schools, mostly wherever I worked in all these years, I have not seen much of it being openly being talked about. So Bleed with Dignity actually happened from there, and uh, when I started it, I felt it was different. I just had this idea that I should do something, and let me just ask the government of Assam to provide this basic healthcare. And maybe how come they are not moved by this little girl who lost her life. Um, and um, and also, it was so important to talk about it. So it happened from since then, and I think the campaign grew with a lot of support, and um, from the people who, and also there were a lot of signatories who signed it. It was also supported by um, uh, Professor MV Gowda, who was from INC, and also he was also writing the manifesto. I think that also gave me a boost for that, and that's how the campaign kept growing, because I felt I think everyone felt that it was high time that people start talking about something like this.
I totally agree with what you said, that it's really a high time that we are open about it and not be ashamed or just sabotage this topic in four walls. So this brings to my third question, that tell us something about the She Creates Change award that you were awarded with.
So, She Creates Change is a flagship program by Change.org India, where they select 30 women change makers pan India, who to come into a platform and build a basically a strong, powerful community of women change makers, who would uh, who come with their own ideas, with their own set of beliefs, with their own causes that they want to fight for. And we then get together, co-create, share, support each other, because I might have a campaign today, and maybe a person that I meet tomorrow, she might know, oh, I know I can help you with this or something. And She Creates Change is actually an amazing opportunity, because it is actually doubling the fact that that there are barriers to women's voices being elevated. And now here is an opportunity where these women are invited to come and make them realize the power that they have inside them, and use it to create change.
Such a noble one, I should say. So, my next question follows is, though we are in the 21st century, we still see that it as a taboo subject. So, what are your views about it?
um so actually, uh, it is still a taboo because I mean, as you know, and I think everyone has been like there are already so many activists, so many young individuals who are doing a lot in their capacity to strike a conversation and now there are like many and multiple number of initiatives and where people are doing activities related to, with menstruation, with theater, with the artist, and uh, and it is actually amplifying the voice that we want to be heard. But somewhere down the line, in I think I'm not talking about much of the urban space, but somewhere in the rural spaces, because I have done my field work in two aspirational districts of Assam in the space of menstrual hygiene, and I realized that it's women do not have the right to make decisions. Most of the women do not have the right to make decisions. The man is always the head of the family, and they even do not have the right to make decisions for their own health. And this I've also seen some at times in my family as well, when my you know my my mother would be like, I have a headache, I think I should go and check with the doctor, and my father would be like, no, it's fine, you'll be okay, you are I think you're just too stressed out or something. So I think
Hmm.
it is high time that women give importance to themselves. I'll actually share a very nice example that I had, that I actually encountered with during one of my field visits. So this woman who was having a lot of trouble, she had like painful periods. She thought I was coming because I was doing a survey. So she thought I came with solutions to her, how to. I'll be the one who will be giving her suggestions on what should she do. But then I had to explain I'm not a doctor or something. So I definitely asked her. And one problem is that I think many of the women hardly. I know I have hardly, even in my own friends group, I don't think very few of them would have hardly consulted a gynecologist. Uh, Even like only if they will have a problem, then only like people will consult one. So I think it's very important to look after your own health, and specifically something which is which happens every month, which you encounter with every month, and you bleed 5 days a week. So I think and that woman actually, so coming back to the example, the woman underwent. So I asked her, what is it, why do you feel pain? Have your period been irregular or something, with whatever little knowledge that I had. And she said that I underwent tubectomy because we did not want any more children. Then I asked, why didn't your husband? So who like did? Was it your choice to undergo tubectomy? Like, didn't your husband volunteer to that he undergoes vasectomy because it's considered to be more safe, etc. And she said no, because he'll fall weak and he's the only earning member of the family. So I didn't want that to happen to him. So I felt so then I realized that, oh my God, this is not something that not something that I want to see, in especially in my state, where we worship a bleeding goddess over here, Ma Kamakhya. And
Hmm.
here we are, ironically, we are again talking about making menstruation a hush hush topic, and having this and that ladki achut type behavior hota hai. So I feel that this is not done. It's high time that it's really really high time that we uh, do something about it. So what I think I left with a note to that woman that don't ever. I don't know what kind of a conversation you have with your husband, but please also let him know that there are options, that he can also go for vasectomy. And now you did it, but please don't encourage other women to do it, because just because your husband is earning doesn't mean that you'll always be bearing the whole brunt of it. So yeah, and you give birth, he doesn't. So it should be your decision. Yeah, that's what I think.
My God, this anecdote of yours has taken me to next level. Like, I can't. It'll take time for me to digest this thing what she said,
Yeah.
and this is quite normal in many households.
Absolutely, exactly. Like, this was just one example. I've come across so many women, village women in these districts where they do not have a say, where they are not worried. Like I have, like for example, so Leave with Dignity also doesn't want to limit itself to just talking about pads or creating awareness. Obviously, I've done with the so I was one of the change makers. Through the Cheek Race Change program to receive a grant from Change.org India to leverage my campaign and amplify it more. And through which I did a live wall mural art in collaboration with one of the local NGOs called Parijat Academy here in Guwahati, Assam itself, where we invited the Commissioner of Guwahati Municipal Corporation, who came and inaugurated the whole wall, and there were I think more than 500 people present in that whole event. And I think he came and gave a very motivating speech, and he was very inspired that someone is finally doing something about this, this topic, and trying to remove the taboo which is attached with it. And I think such, and even if we can influence such local leaders, to come and speak about it, I think that also will make some kind of a difference. Because it's not it's I cannot only I'm not, I you or I alone cannot change the world. You need allies, you need people who can join in and help you and amplify the cause more. So yeah.
Yes, so this brings to my next question, that is, do you think over a period of time we will be able to eradicate the word menstruation from being a taboo word?
I i'm very positive about it. I think and we are already paving. I think we are already halfway through it. um, uh, and I think with all, and now that people are, the number of people who are getting uh, who are more becoming aware and aware gradually, I feel this would it started I think from a small circle, but I think this is going to be a long chain, which is it's going to have a ripple effect soon, where uh, because so it's how to explain, like some at some point of time you see that okay, we are really progressing, we're really talking about menstruation, but when you come across examples like what I mentioned in my earlier talk, was then you kind of get also like demotivated. Okay, are we lacking so behind? Are we like, where did we miss out? Where did we go wrong? um, so I think this divide has to be bridged, and I think that will definitely increase the impact of it more, and hopefully menstruation will not be again a taboo topic anymore.
Yeah, here we are in the urban culture where we are okay to talk about it. At the same time, in the
Yeah.
rural culture, we are not. So, yeah, you
Yeah.
rightly said that the bridge needs to be built.
Yeah.
So, as you have already mentioned, a lot of anecdote about your Assam stories that is happening, like the women over there are suffering through. So, what do you think? Is it anything different from the entire country, or are the people ready to address this issue, or it's the same in the entire country?
I think so. I can only talk from an experience of in the state that I worked. So I worked in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Meghalaya, and Assam. Um, I've stayed in Delhi. I've done my graduation from Delhi, but I've not really actually worked in Delhi. So uh, so while in I think in all across all these states, and since obviously I have friends from other states as well, so whatever they share their experience of when they hit first minority, it's quite different. It's so funny. When it was, I think, one of those few first years of my college in BU, where the lady, one of the my professor was from, I think, was from the northeast, or she was married to a northeast, something like that, northeast person. And she actually asked me, Vidisha, why don't you tell us about your experience? Because we were learning, I had sociology in college, and we were learning about social norms, social rituals, and what the society follows. So she abruptly asked me, Bidisha, why don't you tell your experience of how your first period was and etc. And I told him I got married to a banana plant because that was what I had to go through as per the rituals what we follow in Assam. I mean, right now it's bizarre to hear, and right now it's still being practiced in many of the interior villages of Assam. So basically, what this ceremony is, it's called Tuloni Bia, which is also in English. I don't know if we have, but we call it small marriage, I think.
Oh my
So
God.
it's already like the girl getting married because you are properly dressed, and then like a bride. You're kept. You are decorated like a bride, and you have these rituals where you cannot see other men for like 11 days, 15 days. You cannot have spicy food. You have to sleep uh, in a very different room, and that too on the ground, not in a bed. You have to eat there itself. And this is something that I've gone through, and initially, obviously I was young, and this was followed by my mother, my sisters, everyone. I was in no position to question that. In fact, I think I was half happy because I used to get, so there's a ceremony, and you invite people, and there were like 700 guests in my wedding. Can you imagine
My
that?
God. Is this for real?
It
700
is for
people?
real. I can even share pictures of my
Oh my God.
So it sounds fun because you get a lot of presents from these people. They bring gifts, but ironically, on the other side of it, the ceremony is actually to also celebrate that your daughter is now of marriageable age. She can now bear a child. She can now reproduce another human being, which is why she's made, why she's born for. So that's why the parents, like the society, celebrates, and uh, um, and that's actually the sad part of it, because then you see the woman only through the lens of just a reproductive
Machine.
reproductive machine, reproducing machine. So I think these rituals I've never seen in other states. There are some few parts of, I think, in the
South.
southern south you might see this, but in Assam it's quite common, and you can also imagine the amount of money that is spent in these small weddings, because it's such a burden also, because society also expects that, once your daughter hits Menarche, you have to throw celebrate it on a larger level. And I think the same happened with my parents. They were in a society where the society expected this out of them. And I wish I was in a position that time to stop it, or make them understand this is not right, not something that we should follow. uh, uh, but yeah, but I think whenever now, when I see the young girls, when I go to schools and take sessions on menstrual hygiene, um, along with that, I also try my little, I put an effort to also educate, or create awareness among the parents and the children as well, at least to have to 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 give to give them a choice of what do they want for themselves. I think that is more important at the end of the day. um yeah. So
So I still want to know. So you were made to marry a banana tree.
banana tree, yeah. So that is one of the rituals that we follow in a Tuloni Via, when the girl hits Menarche. And I actually decorated the tree. It's a small banana plant. Like, so I decorated it. I had to, put a I think I put a gold chain on on
Oh
that
my
banana tree.
God.
so yeah, these kinds of things I've done. Yeah. Yeah, and then I made to sit. The guests come, and they give us gifts and blessings, and um it's I don't know. It's a fun-filled event to be if you attend one. But I was very happy. I was very excited. I think then because I got gifts and I was made to feel like a bride. I did makeup for the first time. So because I was quite young, so we were not allowed to do makeup at school. So I think I got a break from school also, and I actually missed school because of that. So I think that is also one thing that we need to address, that you miss school for such ceremonies and which is not no use. And I had my final exams then, and my final exams my grades were actually also affected because I couldn't attend the last few lectures. So I wish I could go back and change, but it's okay. I think Bleed with Dignity itself would give me an opportunity, has given me an opportunity to work towards eradicating, or at least not making menstruation a taboo topic anymore among school students and parents. And I'm happy that now, since the campaign launch and everything, the whole wall art was quite well approved, and it has traveled across a lot of places, covered by a lot of media. So I think, and people then coming up to me that you're really doing a good job, even, and more than that, my own parents coming up to me and then saying that it's actually high time that we address it, because so many women are I've seen girls missing schools because of there's no facility. I actually for the first time I saw a pad vending machine, so I actually missed school when I was in anything standard 9th, because there was no facility of there was nothing available to be used. I had to call my dad and ask him, please get me home. And so I missed half day of school. And then the first time I saw a pad vending machine was when I went to Delhi, like in my college. And I thought, oh my God, it's such an empowering thing to be there. At least you know that this space is yours. You don't feel uninvited in a toilet space, because you know that, okay, if I get a period, okay, there's something I can use. So so that's how the whole campaign started, and that's I think it's pad vending machines can be an empowering stuff, but again, not restricting it to only just machines, vending machines and all. I've also it. I want to open a dialogue to start a conversation and equally empower young girls, adolescents, and women to make their own choices.
I don't know what to say about this thing. Like here we are in a country where we have vending machines also, and then here we are in the same country where people are celebrating it as a mini marriage.
Yeah,
So this is what the yes, you again I would quote you that the bridges need to be mended.
yeah,
So
truly.
any ending notes that you want to share to the audience with?
Um, uh, I think so. I mean, whatever, like, I just want to share that um, I started with a camp. It Believe with Dignity actually became a campaign and gained a lot of support because I somehow believed in the cause, and um, I didn't want to be a spectator sitting at home and just reading the news and just doing and posting some online comments, writing about my views. So and I know that there are so many people out there who wants to do something for the society. There are so many young people that I meet who have such new ideas. So I think if people can come together and share what they feel, and it's not only about having an idea, it's also about having a plan for it. So I think when such people, young, passionate, not young also, like anyone, anyone where there's a platform to come together and build such um, build something that you really want to work towards. I think there's just no end to your possibilities. So I've been so this campaign, and even I was a very shy person, and I'll tell you, like in school, I was not even confident with my with the way I spoke my English, because even though I studied in an English medium school, but we were not much, accustomed with speaking in English. So I think it's also moving to Delhi, even uh, and everything, meeting so many people from diverse backgrounds has shaped me, and I think that is, and all my experiences have brought me to where I am now. So I think I've always taken that risk, that one step, or that I had always this thing in me that I need to I want to do something and I will do it. And I think um, uh, that is very important for each individual to realize, because I didn't realize until this campaign came that I have the power, or I can even build a campaign, something like this, which will be supported by so many people across the country. So I feel that is why I feel motivated and optimistic, and I think it's I wish everyone that they explore their own capabilities and potentialities, and just build on it, and use it to whatever you believe in and you want to see a change, or whatever change you want to see in the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your nice, beautiful words. And I would say that I really enjoyed having a conversation with you. Like the positive attitude, the optimistic way of speaking so beautifully. I just feel like going on and on with your conversation. But yes, we are restricted to time and we are restricted to everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have gone on asking you more list of questions. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in.
Thank you so much, Maanvi. It was really nice to have to thank you for having me here, and I really had a nice conversation, and uh, something that I always have advocated, and something that I always wanted to talk about. Um, so thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, wish you all the best.
Wish you the same, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.